Imagine a colossal shift unfolding in the shadows of our economy. A $50 trillion wealth transfer, silently siphoning from the many to the few. You're not losing because of poor choices or misfortune. No, this is engineered. A recurring symphony of crises designed to strip the middle class bare and funnel riches upward. This isn't wild speculation. It's etched in the annals of economic history, repeating like a dark ritual in every major downturn. From the ashes of 2008, where $16 trillion vanished from household ledgers, to the pandemic's chaos in 2020, the pattern endures. The vulnerable sell in desperation, the elite buy at a steal, and the divide widens into an abyss. Consider 2008. A cataclysm that echoes the Great Depression's despair in 1929, when stock market euphoria collapsed, wiping out fortunes and sparking global misery. In '08, middle-class families watched their net worth plummet from a median $140,000 to $82,000, a staggering 41% evaporation. Homes foreclosed by the millions, jobs evaporated, retirement dreams shattered. Yet that wealth didn't dissolve into thin air, it migrated. The top 1% emerged not just unscathed, but enriched, snapping up distressed assets at fractions of their value. Foreclosed properties at 30 to 50% discounts became their new empires. Stocks bought when the S&P 500 hit its infernal low of 666, only to rebound by 2013, locking in gains that never trickled back down. Philosophically, this reveals a profound inequality baked into capitalism's core, not the free market ideal of Adam Smith, but a skewed arena where crises serve as equalizers in reverse. Just as the 1929 crash concentrated wealth among industrial titans like Rockefeller and Morgan, who weathered the storm with liquidity, 2008 mirrored it, amplifying disparities that linger today. In 2020, amid COVID's grip, the middle class endured another forced exodus. 22 million jobs lost. Small businesses, pillars of community and innovation, shuttered forever, with 60% never reviving. Stocks plunged 35% in weeks, prompting panic sales to cover essentials. Meanwhile, billionaires ballooned their fortunes by $5.5 trillion in a single year. Jeff Bezos amassed $70 billion as Amazon devoured the retail ruins. Elon Musk's $140 billion surge on Tesla's inflated shares marked the swiftest wealth hoarding in recorded time. Rewind to the prelude of 2008, a bubble inflated by greed and illusion, much like the roaring 20s speculative frenzy that preceded the 1929 crash. By 2006, housing prices had doubled in 5 years, fueled by predatory lending. No-doc loans, adjustable-rate mortgages with seductive teaser rates destined to explode. Borrowers, often from working families dreaming of stability, inflated incomes on applications, urged by a chorus of enablers, brokers, agents, advisors, who profited from the delusion. It was a house of cards, reminiscent of the margin-fueled stock bubble of the 1920s, where easy credit masked underlying fragility. The elite sensed the rot early. Hedge fund visionaries like John Paulson and Michael Burry pored over mortgage data, uncovering the toxic underbelly. Subprime loans to those who could never repay once rates reset. They divested, shifting to cash in 2006-2007, echoing how savvy investors like Joseph Kennedy sold before Black Tuesday in '29, preserving capital amid the masses' mania. But the middle class, bombarded by mantras like housing never declines and tap your equity like an ATM, dove deeper into debt, peaking their exposure just as the tide turned. Then came the unraveling. Mortgages defaulted in 2007, cascading into 2008's systemic meltdown. Payments doubled or tripled for families, $2,000 monthly spiking to $5,000, triggering foreclosures that scarred credit for years. The S&P 500 cratered 57%, from 1,500 to 666, halving 401ks and inciting terror. Unemployment soared to 10%, compelling sales of assets to survive. Stocks liquidated, savings depleted, early withdrawals from retirements incurring penalties. This was no voluntary retreat, it was coerced capitulation, a philosophical betrayal where survival instincts clash with long-term prosperity, leaving emotional wreckage. Families uprooted, dreams deferred, a generation's trust in the system eroded. In contrast, the wealthy wielded their liquidity like a weapon. Buffett invested in Goldman Sachs and Bank of America on sweetheart terms, 10% dividends, warrants ensuring outsized returns. Private equity behemoths like Blackstone and Invitation Homes gobbled up 40,000 and 80,000 foreclosed homes respectively at 30 to 50 cents on the dollar. Homes once cherished at $300,000 fetched $150,000 at auction, transforming owners into renters in their former abodes, with rents often exceeding old mortgages. Hedge funds scooped distressed securities at 20 cents, poised for full recovery. This transfer wasn't luck, it was leverage's cruel arithmetic, amplified by Federal Reserve intervention. The Fed dropping rates to zero and printing $4 trillion stabilized markets. But for whom? Assets rebounded by 2013, enriching new owners, while the dispossessed watched from the sidelines, capital S. That $16 trillion shift from the bottom 90% to the apex wasn't evaporation, it was extraction, widening the chasm as in post-1929 America, where inequality fueled the New Deal's reforms, yet persisted. Emotionally, it's a tale of betrayal. The system promises opportunity, yet crises reveal its predatory heart, philosophically questioning if true meritocracy exists or if power perpetuates itself through engineered turmoil. Fast forward to March 2020, COVID's onslaught replaying the script with viral velocity. Markets nosedived 35% in 3 weeks, the swiftest plunge ever, amid lockdowns that decimated service sectors, restaurants, hotels, retail, echoing the industrial shutdowns of the Great Depression. Profitable small businesses vanished, owners' equity erased in weeks, a poignant reminder of how external shocks expose economic vulnerabilities, much like the Dust Bowl compounded 29's woes. Middle-class families facing bills without income liquidated anew. Stocks sold, savings drained, 401ks tapped prematurely. The emotional toll was immense, fear of the unknown, grief over lost livelihoods, mirroring the despair of 2008 and 1929 breadlines. Yet billionaires thrived. Bezos' $70 billion windfall as e-commerce boomed. Musk's $140 billion Tesla bonanza. Zuckerberg's $42 billion. Brin and Page's combined $70 billion. Collective billionaire wealth vaulted from $3 trillion to $8.5 trillion. A $5.5 trillion infusion, not from innovation alone, but from the mechanism's merciless churn. The Fed's response? Unlimited quantitative easing, $6 trillion printed, funneled into bonds, ETFs, mortgages, propping up asset prices amid real economy ruin. Stocks reclaimed highs by August 2020 during peak pandemic suffering, underscoring a philosophical rift. The financial realm, domain of the elite, decoupled from human hardship. The middle class, having sold in panic, missed the rebound, trapped in cash or unemployment. This wasn't aid for the masses, it was salvation for portfolios, widening inequality as in every cycle, linking past crashes to our precarious present. But this is no anomaly. It's a meticulously crafted cycle, repeating through 5 inexorable phases, designed not by accident, but by architects of power. As we delve deeper, the pattern unveils itself, a blueprint for perpetual concentration.